Kunle Ologe is a marriage counselor, business mentor, and the founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. He is a deacon in the Living Faith Church and also a drama minister. He is the convener of the annual Couples Rejuvenation Program, the Couples Conclave, which runs from January to November every year with hundreds of couples in attendance. The Academy has several other programs like the premarital counseling program called Before You Say I Do, the singles program, Becoming Mr. and Mrs., the couples program, Marriage Basics, among others. He has written over 12 books on marriage which have turned around the story of many marriages, including the books Building Your Marriage Plan, Husband Manual, Wife Manual, and 3 Rivers of Marriage. He runs the Kunle Ologe Business Mentorship Program, where he mentors startups, established businesses, and even individuals on how to better structure and become more profitable in their endeavors. He runs several successful businesses of his own, one of which is Smart Office Co-working Hub in the city of Abuja. He is a serial investor and has created wealth from property and trading over the years. He is a seasoned banker and he worked in the Nigerian banking sector for over 18 years, where he was a branch manager for over 6 years in Zenith Bank PLC before voluntarily retiring in 2023. He is married to his beautiful wife, Wendy, who named him the governor, and they are blessed with 2 lovely children. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Kunle Ologe.
And good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor and founder of the Marriage Seal Academy, and you're welcome to this beautiful second edition of this year's Marriage Q&A. So we had the first edition in the month of March, and it was a beautiful time. We had people asking so many questions, much more questions than we could answer in the time allocated for this. And so we decided to create a second opportunity for people to come and ask their questions again so that they can get answers. And that is why we are here. And I greet every one of you, especially. I'm happy that you could join here. This is a free class, so please share wide the link to this course right now, or this class, or this session. Okay, share it wide, share it everywhere to everybody that you know, so that they can come and be a part of this and perhaps get some answers to some of the nagging questions that they have in marriage. And so it's so good to have all of you here. And I see those of you who are already saying hello in the comment section. I see you, Chidima, Overflowing Joy, Oriaku, Orchestra, Grace Young. I greet every one of you for being here. We're going to kick off immediately because we want to see how many questions we can answer in the short time that we have today. So we'll kick off immediately. The questions, if you have any questions, you can put them directly in the comments, okay? And the team will pick it up and pop it up on the screen. But while we wait for your questions to come up, we're going to be taking questions from the team, the ones that has already been set. So we're going to be taking those questions popping up right now. Okay, so team, please, you can begin to pop up those questions so that we can take them and begin to answer. So if you have any questions, just put it, any question at all on marriage, just put it there in the screen and we will answer it. All right. So the first question is here. And it says, my husband and I have been married for 9 years, and he's cheated on me every year, multiple times. All these years, he tells me he's changed and gets right back to it when everything seems calm. I have come to resent him because before we got married, cheating was one of the things we talked about and agreed to be faithful to each other. Okay, so very quickly now, if you have a husband who continues to cheat even when he apologizes, then know that that person has formed that as a habit. And you see, habits are not easily broken. Habits need a process for them to be broken. So one thing you want to tell your husband is that the husband needs to come in for counseling, sit down so that we can have a conversation. The truth of the matter is that until he sits down and we're able to find out where this habit started from, what caused the habit, and why it cannot be broken, we will not be able to stop that habit, because it's a habit just like any other habit that you have. So you want him to come in and sit down with me in a counseling session so that we can have a discussion. The good thing is that I've helped so many men get out of cheating, okay? And this is something that I've done over the years. So you need to have that conversation with him for him to come and seek counseling. Okay, let's have the next question, please. The next question. All right. My husband has mouth odor, which pisses me up for sex. He has tried using different things, but it's like inborn. How else can we deal with it? Okay, so let me tell you very quickly. Most likely your husband is suffering from acid reflux. Now, acid reflux is a condition where there's supposed to be, I've forgotten what that is called, the doctors will help me, that stops the gas from your stomach to come out of your mouth. Now, sometimes that muscle is weak. That blockage that is supposed to be like a valve, a non-returning valve that stops it. It's weak, and so the person just needs some medical care. So it's something that can actually be sorted. So please ask your husband to go to the hospital and ask for the gastro doctor. I can't remember what the name is called now, right? So just ask for the doctor who handles things gastro, and the doctor will be able to do. Sometimes they may need to do an endoscopy, okay? That's put a camera down the person's throat to be able to see if those muscles are actually weak. And the good thing is that it can actually be cured, okay? So that might be the problem, but the doctor will be in a better position to answer that. Let's have the next question. Please, team members, if we have questions in the live session, let's also put them up on screen and answer them while we answer the people who have sent anonymously also. So this one says, I work in a firm where I currently earn 150,000 per month. Promotion comes every 2 years, and I have a woman in my life who has been so good to me I wish to marry. Can I go ahead and propose to her? Yes, you can. When it comes to marriage, once you are able to feed yourself and the person, you have a roof over your head, you can start. A lot of young people are afraid to get married because there's this erroneous, should I call it, teaching out there that says you need to have everything before you get married. No, you don't need to have everything. I didn't have everything before I got married. The question is, is that person ready to start with you? So for the person who is asking this question, we have a course for the eligible singles we do once every year. It's called Becoming Mr. and Mrs. There's a number that is scrolling on your screen right now. Please send a message to that number. Just ask for Becoming Mr. and Mrs. It happens November of every year, and that is the program for you. It will really open your eyes to a lot of things. So let's have the next question. I like that question, by the way. I'm so happy. Someone says, dear coach, if a spouse cheats and is admitted, is it better to ask for details of the person, where, when, or just leave it like that? Yes, ask for the details of the person. However, you are not asking for the details of the person to go and hunt the person. Let me be very clear about that. Because what some people do, men and women are like, when they get the harassing, it is your husband or your wife who has cheated that you need to deal with, not the other person. But why you need the details is so that that person can do what we call full disclosure. I mean your husband, your spouse, so that your spouse can do full disclosure. That will also help him or her to cut off from that person. Now, if your spouse doesn't give you the full details of what happened, when, how, then your spouse may fall back again to that same person or that same scenario again. So giving the full details just helps you. It also helps you to help him or her to avoid things like that. Okay, so the answer is yes, full details should be given. All right. Oh, somebody helped us. A medical person has helped us here. What I was talking about is the esophageal sphincter. Medical people. Anyway, so that's it. That's what actually is supposed to help to stop the gases from the stomach from coming up. And those gases are the ones that actually smell. When somebody has mouth odor. The person brushes his tongue 2 times, 3 times, but the mouth odor still comes. That means it's probably coming from inside. Thank you very much, Chimere. All right, so let's have the next question, please. Next question. All right. Good morning, sir. How does one deal with a spouse that refuses to be accountable and never listens to anyone and doesn't want to communicate on how to make the marriage work? This is a very good question, and this question comes up every time. How do you deal with a spouse who refuses to communicate? That can be very difficult. So you're trying to communicate, you're trying to help your spouse, but your spouse refuses to communicate. What you need to do is to get the skills to make him or her communicate. Yes, there are skills that can help you to make your spouse communicate. Now, I launched this latest book of mine, one of the 2 latest books that I wrote. I just launched it in the month of May, and this book is titled What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. This book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You, has a part where it actually tells you how to convince your spouse, how to make your spouse talk, and all of that. Please get this book, read it. It will give you the skills you need to get your spouse talking. I hope that I have answered that question. You want to get the book, please reach out to the team. The numbers are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We have distributors all over Nigeria, and we have distributors in the UK, in the US, in Canada, and in Australia, and some of African countries, and all around Nigeria. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the next question, please. How does one deal with overly entitled, never wrong, never apologetic, and always right parents? Okay, so this is talking about your parents now, who always are right. You see, there was a generation where elders were seen to not be able to make mistakes, or that's how they painted themselves. And most of our parents, I mean, people in our generation, people who are 40 years and above, let's even go back 35 years and above. You probably had parents like that who never do anything wrong. They can never lie. They can never do anything wrong. They were the ones who carried first in school. They were the ones. Unfortunately, these are unrealistic ways of living. Not that you cannot do so well that you don't do some of these things, but most people did not turn out like that, and they paint the wrong picture. So when the younger ones now make a mistake, they look for how to hide it because they believe that you shouldn't make a mistake at a certain age. Now, how do you deal with such parents? Is knowledge. You see, the parents you are talking about, they actually did not have the knowledge that is available right now. Right now, you are sitting down at a Q&A session live. People are watching from all over the world, and I mean all over the world. So you can get so much knowledge just at the tip of your fingers. During their time, there was nothing like that. So what you need to do is start to introduce them to knowledge. For instance, I have a YouTube channel, the Marriage Still Academy by Kunle Ologe. Send them the link to the channel, tell them to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification button. The more they hear, the more they begin to realize that some of the things that they did was not okay. We had a fathers conference that just finished, organized by the Intentional Parents Academy. It was an international fathers conference, and my God, a lot of people, a lot of fathers were there, thousands. And a lot of fathers also got some healing, and they were able to change their ways and all of that. It's knowledge. So what you need to seek for your parents is knowledge. All right, let's have the next question, please. Is it advisable to meet face-to-face with your spouse's affair partner to ensure their relationship comes to an end, not necessarily to threaten, but to appeal to their conscience? No, no, no. Do not meet with the person your spouse has cheated with. I had said it before. If your spouse cheats with somebody, it's not that person's problem. It's your spouse that has the problem. It's your spouse that cheated with the person. You didn't know that other person. And even if you knew the person, that's not the person you're married to. The person who did the wrong thing is your spouse to you. So focus on your spouse. Going to meet the other person to appeal to the conscience is actually absolutely rubbish. Yes, you're actually degrading yourself. So you don't need to appeal to the conscience of the person. You need to appeal to the conscience of your spouse. Okay? I hope that was very clear. The answer is no, no, no. All right. Next question, please. I hope we're getting something here. And have you invited somebody to this Q&A session? Please invite somebody. It's free. Everybody can join. Send the link to all your friends, all your family members. There's something we say at the Marriage Seal Academy. We say that if the marriages around you are bad, your marriage is at risk. And that is because if those marriages around you start feeding you the information on what is going on in their own marriage, you'll find out at the end of the day that you will start living their life before you know what's happening. Even when there is no issue in your own marriage, issues are created. That's how it is. A bad apple will always spoil the good ones if you keep them all together. So that is why you need to invite everybody around you right now. Just send the link to them and tell them to watch this, and they can also ask their own questions. All right. What do I do with a husband that will not support my goals financially, but can support verbally? Almost all the time, it is a quarrel when it comes to the money aspect, and he must win the case and leave me with much regrets in my marital choice. Okay, so what is happening here is that you and your husband do not yet have what we call financial intimacy. So there are different types of intimacy in marriage, and one of them is financial intimacy, where you and your spouse are able to handle financial issues together without problems. Your spouse probably came from a home where maybe husband and wife did not share finances. And so, we always act, except we pull ourselves out, we always act what we saw growing up. That is how life is. So if your husband grew up in that place, that's what he knows. The things he heard was the things he is interpreting in real life right now. What you need to do is to start to introduce him to knowledge. If he will agree, please come with him for counseling so that we can sit down and have a conversation about finance. The good thing is that I'm not only a counselor, I'm also a financial expert. I've spent the first 18 years of my working life working in a bank, and I rose up to the level of branch head, okay, of branch manager of a branch. So I have all those expertise in finance, and I can sit with your husband and yourself and have a conversation so that he can understand that working together actually makes more sense than working separately. But I'll need to listen to both of you so that I'll understand what exactly is happening in your marriage. So please book for a counseling session, the person who asked that question, and the numbers are scrolling on the screen. All right, let's have the next one. And I greet you, Chizorum and family. I greet you specially. All right. What should I do if my husband is struggling with infidelity? He says he is not proud of his actions, but also says he's not ready to talk about it and needs time. No, he doesn't need time. He needs to talk about it. He doesn't need time. I answered a question similar to this. It's a habit. He can't get out of it on his own. He can only get out of it two ways. Number one, if he talks to a counselor so that he can begin to rehearse the things that happen, and the counselor will help him, give him steps to take to work against it. Or number two, God intervenes directly. But you see, for the number two, we don't have control over that. God has control over that. So those are the only two ways. But if he thinks that time will make him stop, I tell you, it will not. He will continue in that line. So let your husband know that time will not help him. He needs to get help. I know in this part of the world, and I'm talking about Nigeria, I know that people are watching from all over the world. But in Nigeria, most people, when they hear counseling or therapy, they feel that you're saying they're crazy. And so they run away from it like mad. Tell your husband that it is not, you are not, he's not mad, but he needs to talk to somebody because he needs help. There is something that happened in his past that is causing him to do it without being able to stop. So he needs to come. We will have that conversation. Like I said before, I have helped many men to stop cheating. Very, very many men over the 14 years that I've been counseling, but it needs a conversation. We need to sit down and have a conversation. All right, next question, please. I am a friend to a lady for a while. The friendship became so close. We love each other, but not yet agreed to enter into a relationship, waiting for God's approval. But it seems there is force restraining me from her spiritually. Okay, so first thing I want to say is that when it comes to the choice of who to marry, you need to first sort yourself out. There's a course we do every year, November every year, and I've spoken about it already today. It's called Becoming Mr. and Mrs. It's a course for the eligible singles. Please, when that course comes up, register for it, or just reach out to the number on your screen and just ask them for the singles course. You need to be able to sit down and learn. There is a lot to learn before marriage. When you are done with that course, I promise you, you'll be able to make that decision whether to go on or not to go on. 3 things happen in that course. Number 1, people who have relationships that are wrong, they break it. Number 2, people who have relationships that were not focused, they get it focused. Number 3, people who didn't have any relationship at all, they learn how to get into a godly relationship. Okay, so that's the question. That's the answer to that question. All right, please, next question. I hope we are enjoying this. Someone says, hello, coach. How can I get my adult and teenage children to build a relationship with their father who was absent while they were growing up because of work, and now he's retired and back home? What steps can I take? This is a very painful thing that happens to a lot of men. I think I spoke a little bit about this in the Fathers Conference that just finished. I was one of the speakers in the Fathers Conference, the TIP Fathers Conference, and I spoke about fathers being present in the lives of their children and not just doing provision. Provision is only 10% of what that child needs. That child needs your presence also. And that is why when you are now old, you've now done everything for them, according to you, the children have now abandoned you. The truth of the matter is that you only did for them provision. Now, what do you need to do? First thing is that the man himself needs to begin to warm up to the children. It's already, time has already passed. He can't get back the times that have gone, the years that have gone. But if he begins to improve himself, experience has it that if he begins to improve himself as a father, he will begin to make the changes he's supposed to change. So the person who asked this question, please, I need you to reach out to my wife, Coach Wendy Ologe. She is the parent coach, okay? Number 1 parent coach in the entire Africa. And she will be able to guide you and your husband, not just your husband. 2 of you need to work together to get these children back. Because I understand what you are saying perfectly well. We have many cases that my wife has helped the children to get back connected to the parents. So many cases. So that's why I know it's possible. But both of you will need to subject yourself to some counseling. So please reach out to the number on your screen also and just say, we want to speak to Coach Wendy. Okay, and my team will get you connected to her own team so that you can book a session to speak to her. Please don't. I like that you brought up this question. It's a very important question, and I'm happy you brought it up because it's so painful for men and men who are here who are listening to me. Please don't wait until this is your situation before you begin to have an emotional connection to your children. It can be very, very painful when you've worked very hard and your children have just, in quote, left you alone. All right, so let's go to the next question, please. What can I do about a spouse who doesn't see anything wrong with what he does, even when it's wrong, and he doesn't listen to anyone? He feels he knows it all. Okay, by the he you are saying here, it's a man we're talking about. Now, men have ego. Have you heard that before? Men have ego. And the ego of a man needs to be massaged, or else the man will keep struggling and the man will refuse to get help. What your husband is a mentor. That's what your husband needs. He needs a mentor, somebody who he can look up to and begin to walk towards that person. But you see, it's now difficult getting him a mentor because you can't just go to him and say, this is now your mentor. In fact, you have worsened the situation. However, there are skills you need and there are ways you need to get your husband a mentor that is right for him, that he will listen to. So the person who asks this question, please do book for a counseling session. Let's have a conversation about this thing you have said so that I can get the full details, and then I will guide you on how to get a mentor for your husband. That's what your husband needs. If he's able to get a mentor, because what he is doing is what he knows. That is how he learned. If you check it, most likely his father was exactly the same way. So that is what he learned as being a man. The only thing that can change it is him seeing another man who is doing very well with his family and business, and he's listening to other people and being corrected. Gradually, he will see the need to also listen to people. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Let's look for the next one. And I greet you, sir. Mr. Benjamin Wali, I greet you so much, sir. This is an elder man, statesman who is always here with us. I greet you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us today. All right. The next question, please. Sorry. Put up that question again. What best way is to resolve offensive verbal words from wife when she feels uncomfortable with him? Although both Christians, she believes the Mosaic law, Old Testament, and I believe the New Testament. Okay, Mr. Elijah, please, your marriage seriously needs counseling. Very, very seriously. It's an intensive case. You see, belief system is a very, very important and core part of marriage. And if two of you have different belief systems, it will be difficult for you to agree on anything. And so we need to be able to sit down and understand what exactly is happening. When you say she believes in Mosaic law and then you believe in the New Testament law, all of them together is Christianity, both Mosaic and New Testament. They are all Christianity. So we need to sit down and have a conversation. Let's understand what exactly is happening in your marriage. Okay, so let's sit down, have a conversation in counseling, and understand what is happening in your marriage, please. All right, next question, please. What can I do about a spouse who doesn't see anything wrong with what he does? Even when it's wrong, he doesn't listen to anyone as he feels he knows it all. So this is a similar question to the other one that I answered. So for this one, you need mentorship for that husband of yours. Your husband needs mentorship. So please, like I said to the other person who asked the question, come for counseling. That's me and you, the wife. Let's have a conversation. Okay, so that I can understand the extent and I can show you how to get him mentorship from another man. Let's have the next question, please. We have been married for 18 years now with 4 children, but more than a year now, my husband stopped having sex with me. I have tried my best to talk to him, still no changes. I have suggested we go for counseling, but he bluntly refused. What should I do? Okay, since he has, because the natural answer to that question would have been come for counseling so that he can speak up. The truth of the matter is that something must have happened that stopped the sex. Sometimes you see men, unlike women, when they make a decision, they don't easily make a decision, but when they make a drastic decision, they stick on it like an ant to sugar. So we need to find out what happened. At what point did whatever it is happened, so that we can begin to trace how to resolve the problem. So since he has refused to come for counseling, you come for counseling. There are so many people who have asked me in the past that my husband refuses to come for counseling. My wife refuses to come for counseling. And I say, come alone. And they say, but we need to, both of us to come. I say, no, you first come. Let's have a conversation first. From the conversation, I will be able to guide you on how to get your husband to also come. So one step at a time. Because if you refuse to come, if your husband says, I'm not coming, and you also say you are not coming, then the problem won't be solved. It will just continue carrying over. And unfortunately, marital problems don't get better with time. They get better with knowledge. So waiting and hoping that one day your husband is going to now start having sex with you, it might never happen. So please don't wait until it's too long. It's already 1 year. That's a bad thing. I mean, when it comes to sex, I always say that sex should be minimum 3 times a week. So that means in a year, you should have had sex at least minimum 144 times. And if you've not had for 1 whole year, that means 144 times gone. That's a lot. Okay, please do come in for counseling. Next question, please. All right. So this question says, I caught my husband sexting with other women. With another woman. It was so bad that the woman has agreed for him to come to her with condom, because in their WhatsApp message, which I saw by mistake on my husband's phone, she said, without condom, no. He then replied her asking what time is best to meet, and he gave you a time. It broke my heart. Also, my husband has refused to believe that his money is also mine since he's working and I'm looking after the children. This is a major problem because all his major projects are done with his name alone. I'm not even next of kin to them. This is the main reason we may separate the marriage. All right, before you talk about separating the marriage, please come for counseling. There are a lot of people here I'm telling today come for counseling, and I know why. You see, I can't give you a straight answer until we sit down and I get deeper. The ones I'm giving straight answers are the ones that are no-brainers, okay, so to say. That I know that the straight answers I give you, you try it, it will work for you. But in matters like this, there's a lot of water that has gone under the bridge. And so we need to sit down and have a conversation. Your husband is sexting with somebody and planning on how to sleep with the person. Your husband is not allowing you to, the money, he feels the money is his money, is not our money, and you are the one taking care of the children at home. Then, of course, obviously, communication is poor. Those are the three major issues in marriage. You have the three major problems in marriage. The three major issues in marriage are communication, finance, and sex. You have problems with all three. Please, do come for counseling. Next question, please. Next question. Okay, we're having a delay, a technical issue with my team. We will let's have your questions in the comment section now while we wait for that to come back up. So if you have questions, please put it in the comment section. Yes, marriage problems get better with knowledge. Yes, that's correct. They don't get better with time. So sitting down and waiting and thinking that your marital problems will get better with time is fallacy. It won't get better with time. It gets worse with time. Look, marriage is either going up or it's going down. Every time you think that it's just okay, nothing is, it's not growing and it's not going down, it's actually going down. Did you hear what I said? It's actually going down. Every time you think that your marriage is just okay and it's not exciting, it's not growing, you can't see that every year is getting better, your marriage is actually going down slowly and slowly. So please be very, very careful with that. And yes, things don't get better with time. Things get better with knowledge. Things get better with knowledge. I'm waiting for your questions. This is a Q&A. It's an open place for you to ask any question. There's no question that is out of bounds here. Ask any question you have on marriage, and we will respond to the questions that you have on marriage. While we're waiting for the questions to come up, we're going to have a course at the end of next week, the 27th and the 28th. We're going to have a very, very interesting course titled Anger Management in Marriage. Anger Management in Marriage. This is a 2-day course where we will be helping you to solve the anger problem in your marriage. If the anger problem is from you, we will help you to solve it. If the anger problem is from your spouse, we will help you to solve it. And that is why we're having this course that we're going to do just once this year. It's just going to be once this year. Now, here are some of the things that you are going to get in that course. When you register for this course, you are going to learn how to control your emotions. Yes, you will learn how to control your emotions. Your emotions are always everywhere. When you are angry, you can't control yourself. We will help you in this course. The second thing is that we will help you to break free from inherited anger. Do you know that anger is actually inherited or can be inherited? Yes, anger can actually be inherited. And to stop that inheritance from continuing, you will be taught what you need to do. Next is that we're going to help you to understand your triggers of anger. We'll help you to know the consequences of anger in your marriage. We'll help you to know how anger affects your legacy. Yes, Your anger can affect your legacy, what you're going to leave behind. Yes, that's your children, your wealth, your career, everything. Your anger can actually mess it up. Then we're going to teach you how to communicate without fear. For those of you who are always afraid to talk to your spouse, we'll teach you how to communicate without fear. We'll teach you how to stop emotional isolation, either from you or from your spouse. When either of you goes on the silent treatment, we will teach you how to resolve that. We'll teach you how to understand the psychology of anger. There is a psychology of anger. We will also teach you to understand the different levels to anger and how to deal with an angry spouse. So this course is going to be taking place. I'll still be talking a little bit more as we go, more about it as we go on. But let's get back to the questions. So we have another question that is there. It says, how can you explain to your husband to help with chores since there is no housemaid? Now, before you start explaining to him to help with chores, the question is, how is your communication in the marriage? Are you able to get him to do other things? Like when you want to buy things for yourself, are you able to get him to buy those things? Are you able to get him to do other things that you want him to do? That's where we need to find out first. If you're able to do this, then it's the same way that you're going to use to get him to do chores. Now, in this part of the world, a lot of men don't really do chores because somehow chores are kind of seen as the purview of the woman. While it is true that it is the woman's job to handle homekeeping and ensure that the home looks decent, the woman cannot do it alone. Did you hear what I just said? Yes, it is a woman who oversees that a home is well taken care of, clean, tidied, organized. That is the woman's responsibility. However, the woman is not expected to carry out all the duties on her own. You will kill her. And I'm talking to the men who are listening to me right now. You will kill her unnecessarily before her time. So please, men, do well to help you. In my own home, I'm the one who does the heavy, anything that is heavy, any work that is heavy in the house, I'm the one who does it. Sometimes mopping, laundry, I do the laundry, I do the heavy chores because I'm the man, I'm the one who has more strength. Why do I want my wife's soft hand? And my wife has very soft hand. Why do I want her soft hand to become coarse? So that when she now touches me with the soft hand, I'm now feeling like it's stone that is touching me. No, I want her hands to remain soft. So I actually join in doing the house chores. So what you need actually to do to this person is to have a conversation about it. Let him know that these chores are too much for you and you need him to actually give a hand in the chores, and tell him what you need him to do in the chores. Sometimes also, some men don't do chores because their wives don't tell them what they should do. Men like it when you say, okay, you are now going to be in charge of this, so be doing this. Not the one that you are just passing and you see him watching television. Because he's watching TV, you just feel, why are you watching TV? You come and do this with me. Now, men have a problem with that because men are kind of logical in their thinking. So they've arranged themselves. So if you tell them beforehand, I need you tomorrow, I need you to help me clear out the kitchen. I need you to help me do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. It's going to be easier to get the man to do the chore. Okay? All right. So let's have the next question, please. Good evening, sir. My wife has refused to join the inner circle of the TIP for 3 years now, and she does many things wrongly in relation to our daughter. It gets to me, but I try to avoid confronting her. What do I do? Sir, come with your wife for counseling. Your wife is refusing not because I suspect. She's refusing not because she doesn't know that that is the best thing to do, but I believe that she's refusing because you and her probably have an issue that is unresolved, and that is her own way of rebellion. So I need you to come with your wife for counseling. Let's hear from her. It's important that we hear from her own side of the story why she's not joining, because usually it's the other way around. It's men that join, then I mean, the women that join and then the men are dragging feet because they, according to the men, they are busy chasing things up and down. So this time it is you who has joined and your wife has been dragging her feet for the last 3 years. There's something wrong with the marriage. The problem is the marriage. It's not the parenting. So let's deal with the marriage. So please book for a counseling session. Reach out to the numbers that are scrolling at the bottom of your screen and you will get details on how to book. All right. So next question. Somebody is laughing and saying, good perspective. Do the hard work. Keep your wife's hand soft so that she can feel the effect on your body. Yes. I'm realist. Oh, I'm a realist when it comes to that one. I want her hand to be soft on my body. Okay. All right, let's go on. Someone says, good evening, coach. Thank you for sharing and willing to do this. Please, how can I help my spouse attend marriage seminars and events like this and follow through willingly? I believe if we both hear some message and have a shared vision towards growing our marriage relationship, we will live happier. He thinks money is what makes a happy home. All right. Now, I told somebody earlier on today that you should get this book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. This book is actually a book on communication. It's my latest book. It's an A to Z on communication. Please get this book, read it. It teaches you how to convince your spouse. So your spouse needs to be convinced. You see, a man naturally is looking for how to actually take care of the family. So truth of the matter is that a man his mind is, how can I provide for this family, both now and in the future? So he's not resting. Unfortunately for men, that is not all life is about. It's a very important part of life, but that's not all life is about. Somebody needs to get them to come and realize that life is much more about that, much more than that, and that he needs to actually get his marriage good, his parenting good, and every other aspect of life. So one of the things you need to do is you. That's what I'm trying to say. You who ask the question are the one who is going to help him to understand. But you can't help him to understand if you don't have the knowledge to. So you need to have the knowledge first to help him. Can you remember the Ethiopian eunuch in the Bible? When the Ethiopian eunuch was reading the scrolls, and he was in his carriage, and God pushed Philip, and Philip appeared beside him. And Philip asked him, do you know what you are reading? Do you understand? And he said, how can I understand when there is no man to interpret to me? And so Philip joined him in the carriage and began to interpret. Now, Philip could not have joined him in the carriage to interpret if Philip did not also know what was there. But Philip had an understanding of what was there, and that's why he could join him in the carriage and interpret. And the man himself got to a point and he said, look at what I hear. If what you are saying is true, then what is stopping me from being baptized? I mean, that was, look, I've not seen a convert like that before. He was so converted that he was the one telling Philip, but see what I hear now. Is there anything stopping you from baptizing me? That's how much he now understood. So if you have a spouse who is not really into building knowledge on marriage, parenting, and all of those things, you need to build your own knowledge to the extent that you can convince him. After all, you convince him to do other things. How come you can't convince him to get knowledge? So it's the knowledge that you have that will convince him. Okay, so please get this book, read it. It will really help you. All right, can we have the next question? I'm really enjoying this. I'm liking the questions that you guys are asking. These are very, very important questions, and I hope the answers are helping you. Someone says, thank you, sir, for this amazing session. My question is, how can external influences from the man's family be resolved, especially when the man is from his... Okay, when the man is for his family or is being manipulated? Very, very good question. This is a woman who is asking this question. The solution to your problem is influence. You must get better influence or build greater influence than his family. Don't fight it. You don't fight a man's family. You only learn how to influence the man better, such that the influence will make the man begin to listen to you instead of listening to his family. So how much influence do you have on your husband? There's a story of a lady whose husband is a big business person and had many business concerns, but the husband never felt that the wife could handle any of the businesses. So the wife was just a housewife. And he was a very big man, a lot of money. So the money was not a problem. They were having a swell time when it comes to that. His businesses were booming, but the wife knew that she could contribute. What did the wife do? She went back to school to learn about that his business. I mean, school. Started when uniform, went back to school to learn about the business. Then went to work in a similar business like that man's business. The man was not even aware that that's what he just thought the woman was trying to get herself busy. But this woman was preparing herself to influence better. And so by the time she was fully prepared, after she had done this for a while, and she was prepared with knowledge on that business, whenever the man had a problem, she started chipping in solutions. And the man would try the solution, it will work. Then she would chip in solutions. Then one day she was bold enough to say, I want to come and attend one of your board meetings with you. And of course, the man, because he has now been getting, remember, he has been getting solutions and solutions. So the man allowed her to come for the board meeting. And she sat down in a board meeting, and my God, the things she was saying, the man was surprised, as in, is this my wife? And eventually the woman became the managing director, handling a lot of things in some of the man's businesses, big business. So influence is what you need. Don't fight. You need influence. And if you don't know how to get that influence that I'm talking about, if what I have said, you've not been able to pick something from it, please book for a counseling session. Come and sit down. Let's have a conversation, proper conversation about it. And I will guide you on how to influence your husband to the extent that it doesn't matter the manipulation that they are manipulating him from anywhere. He will listen to you first. All right, next question, please. My spouse doesn't give room to allow penetration during sex, but sometimes we do once and it's within safe window because we don't want to do FP, due to the effects on body wellness. That's family planning. Don't suggest condom because it's not an option. 2, now it's just frustrating that we now do intercourse without penetration. My spouse is a member of the inner circle parenting with Coach Wendy. All right. So first of all, you can actually use the calendar method where you do penetrative sex when the woman is safe, which is what you said you are practicing. The only other thing you can do is use condoms. You've already said that the other family planning methods affect the body, and I agree with you. I never advise people for pills, implants. Those things all have very serious side effects and sometimes dangerous to the body of the woman. So what you'd have to do is to probably enjoy using the condom if you must have sex when it is not the woman's safe period. Other than that, then you just have to abstain when she's not, except you want to have babies. Okay, so that's actually the solution to that. Okay, there's no shortcut to it. There just needs to be some discipline so that you have sex only during the bed. Like I said, using a condom is not as bad as it feels. I don't know who is asking the question, whether it's the man or the woman that is asking the question, but it's something you can actually learn to use. Okay, that's the answer to that question. Can we have the next question? My spouse doesn't give. Oh, this is the question that we just had. Can we have the next one? Please check it, admin. We just answered this question. All right, we've been married for you'd need to. Okay, can we have the question again? I think it skipped. The next question. All right. We've been married for 17 years, although in the last 7 years we have been separated. Marriage was full of emotional and verbal abuse to the point I lost my ability to speak without stuttering. Not much of physical abuse, but the bold affairs that came with threats of divorce left me feeling like I was a nobody. It was when I made up my mind to work on my damaged esteem and say no to the abuse that I was termed not submissive. I walked away 2 years after my decision. In the last 7 years, we have tried working things out. Our children are growing. and want us together. But I see a man that only wants a woman that has no voice and is completely submitted to his demands, whether they make sense or not. He doesn't have a mentor, he does not believe in it, says he wants the marriage but isn't ready to go for counseling. I am tired and I just want to end it all. I think I deserve to be loved on this slide of heaven. And I agree with you 100%, Ma. You deserve to be loved. Everybody, man, woman, we all deserve to be loved. What is happening in your marriage is a sorry case. However, it can be sorted out. Your husband, probably the knowledge he has about marriage, like I always say, background is very, very important. The knowledge a lot of us carried into marriage is the knowledge that we got from our parents' marriage. So what needs to happen is a reorientation. Sometimes this reorientation is slow and difficult. However, you must start it so that you can start achieving something of it. So what I will say to you, Ma, is what actually you need is counseling. That's what you need. You've already proposed it to him and he has refused. You come for counseling first. Let's get more details of what transpired in the marriage, and I will be able to guide you on the things to do to convince him to come for counseling also. There are many people who said they will never come for counseling. I don't know if some of them are here today. There are many husbands and wives that said they will never come for counseling. They don't like counseling. But eventually they did come for counseling, and that was because their wives or their husbands were able to convince them based on the things that we discussed in their own individual counseling. So the person who asked this question, please do come for counseling. Don't throw away your marriage yet. Let us first try. I have been opportuned to counsel many people who were on the verge of divorce. Some of them have already even started the application in court for divorce, and somebody told them to come and speak with Kunle Ologe. And we started having conversations, and they realized that they didn't need divorce. What they actually needed was conversations. And they started having those conversations, and we drew the cases from court. So I need you to have that hope. There is hope for a tree. The Bible says that if it be cut down, it will sprout up again. So I need you to hang on to that hope, and I need you to come for counseling so that we can decide on what you need to do. All right, let's move on, please. Let's move on. How do I manage a spouse who thinks he is right and I am wrong in every argument, and that God purposely chose him to straighten me up? Okay, so first of all, yes, God may have chosen your spouse to straighten you up. One of the 6 purposes of marriage is completion. So there are 6 purposes of marriage. And for those of you who are conclavites here, I'm sure you know all of this. So there are 6 purposes of marriage. And one of the purposes of marriage is completion. Completion means that what is missing in one person, that's why you are there. So you either teach the person or you do it for the person. And what is missing in the other person, that's why you are there, so vice versa. So yes, your husband may have been chosen by God to straighten you up. However, maybe the method he's using to straighten you up is the challenge. And that's why you say he thinks he's always right. Same answer that I have given before. When you have a husband who thinks he's always right, the husband needs a mentor. That's what the husband needs. He needs mentorship. And you need to be the one to help him to get that mentorship without insulting him. So I've always told women, to get that mentorship that I'm talking about, please come for counseling. Let us sit down and let me know the peculiarity of your husband so that I can give you the right steps that you need to take to actually get him to counseling. All right, so let's move on. Next question. How do you manage a situation where one couple is willing to learn, grow, read books, and participate in meetings, conferences, and webinars, Q&A sessions like this, but the other couple is not willing? Why is this always the case for many couples? Okay, so everybody has their learning style, and everybody has the background they came from. So many couples, like you rightfully say, will have one person who is ready to learn and one person who is not ready to learn. Think of it. Even in your place of work, there are people who came newly who are ready to learn, and there are people who came who are not ready to learn. What did you do if you are a manager, a supervisor, wherever it is? Did you throw away the people that are not ready to learn? No. You found a way to teach them. What I always say to people who say their spouses are not willing to learn is find a way to teach. It's just like our children. Sometimes that child that you say is not learning, it may be the method you are using to teach him. So if you change the method, you may find out that he may like learning. Learning may become exciting, like a child who is kinesthetic in learning, and you teach him by just sitting him down and talking to him. The child doesn't enjoy learning, so he will do everything to run away from learning. But if you make it interesting and make it activity based, you see that child begin to learn and begin to want to learn. Same thing in marriage. That your husband or that your wife that is refusing to learn, why not change the way of the learning? Do you know that sometimes the problem is your arrogance of knowledge? Have you heard that term before? Arrogance of knowledge. Let me explain to you. Sometimes you know something so well that you become arrogant about that thing you know. And that your arrogance closes the door, or the person, your spouse, closes his door or her door of learning because of your arrogance. You come to your spouse with the air of I know and you don't know. And so when he or she makes a mistake, the way you talk to him and try to correct him, so your spouse, it's not that your spouse doesn't want to learn, but your spouse decides to rebel and say, well, if this is how you're going to go about this thing, I'm not going to do it. I had a case once, a counseling session, and a couple came to me. And one of the complaints of the woman was that the husband was not learning, was refusing to learn. And the husband was there in the session. Now, I began to tell him the importance of the things he was supposed to learn about parenting. It was about parenting first. So I was telling him the importance and explaining it to him. Do you know what the man said when I was done? He said, now I'm interested in learning. He said, because the way you have painted it is not how my wife has been painting it. He said, my wife has been making it look as if I'm a fool. So she makes it look as if I'm foolish. I don't know what I'm doing. So any mistake I make, she just talks down on me. And so because of that, I decided I will not join this academy that she's talking about. So I don't know if your own falls into this. But bottom line is that if you look for interesting ways to make that your spouse learn, your spouse will pick up learning. Let's go to the next question. What do you do when you realize after 7 years of marriage that your values do not align with that of your husband? What do you do after 7 years of marriage, you realize that your values do not align with that of your husband? Now, this was something that you should have sorted out before marriage. In fact, for the young people who are here who have been talking about the course Becoming Mr. and Mrs., value system is an important thing we always talk about in that course. However, you've now been married for 7 years. Your values don't align. You don't need to throw away the marriage. What you need to do is begin to look for ways to align the value. For all you know, it may be your husband's value that is better in some aspects than yours. In some aspects, it may be your values that are better than your husband's aspect. There needs to be a harmonization. One of the things that I have done to help couples when it comes to value system in marriage is to take them through a course that we designed called Marriage Basics. Now, let me tell you a little bit about that course. We discovered that a lot of couples who are coming for counseling had the kind of issues they had because they had no premarital counseling. And because there was no premarital counseling, the couples did not know what to do, how to do it, how to go about it. So they didn't really understand the right way of marriage. So each person had their own fault. We now created this course to align everybody and ensure that everybody has one way of looking at marriage. So husband, one way. Wife, the same one way. And we found out that after every time we finish this course, the values of the spouses begin to align. Because now they have one value, and that value is according to the word of God, according to the Bible. So it can't be faulted because that's God. So one of the things you may want to do is to register for that course, Becoming Mr. and Mrs. I'm sure the team members will put up the details of that on screen. So you need to register for that course, not Becoming Mr. and Mrs. Register for the course Marriage Basics, okay? And that Marriage Basics will help both of you to have your value systems aligned, okay? That is one thing that I can tell you to do. All right. Let's have the next one, the next question. And Ifeanyi says, thank you for this amazing and educative live session. All right. I'm happy to be here with you also. Good day, sir. How do I get my husband to get involved in loving our children in words, actions, beyond providing for them? He's exceptional at this. He's exceptional at providing. Also teaching them like devotion time, sitting with them and training them practically. Thank you, sir. Okay, the person who is asking this question, I would want to know if you belong to the inner circle of the TIP. So the TIP, that's the Intentional Parent Academy, is an academy that helps parents to parent better. It's run by my beautiful wife, Wendy Ologe. And there you will learn how to actually raise your children in godly but very effective and impactful way without losing them emotionally. I want to suggest that you and your husband get into the inner circle. If you reach out to the numbers on your screen and you just put inner circle, they will send you the details of how to get into the inner circle. If your husband learns from the inner circle, he will begin to see why and how he should be more involved in raising the children. Okay, so join the inner circle of the Intentional Parent Academy. It will help to sort you out. All right, let's move on. Next question, please. Next question. We'll soon go on a water break. So after this question, we'll go on a short 2-minute water break. Okay, and after that, we will now come back and continue the questions till the time elapses for the day. It says, good evening, sir. Please, I have one question concerning my husband. He used to be quite romantic before we got married, but right now he doesn't put in much effort. He forgets our anniversary constantly. He knows I love thoughtful messages, especially during special occasions like birthdays, etc., but he doesn't really make any effort to do anything special. It has gotten worse over the years. He knows I like my pictures posted like on my birthday, but he has adamantly refused to do this because he says he wants everything private, that people do not need to know when we are celebrating anything in our lives. I'm also private myself, but I feel this is too much and has gotten out of hand. I was raised in a family that celebrated everyone, and it was a major deal to do something special on such occasions. I have tried to make him understand how I feel, but to no avail. I believe his own family was the opposite of mine in this particular aspect, and it must have affected him also. Please, I would need advice on how to navigate this issue. Thanks in advance. All right, you have answered part of the question by saying that his family was opposite of your own family. So his background was not your background. Now, before he grew up, remember, he was already a man formed in his ways. So it's not going to be so easy to change him, but it is not impossible. What you need to do is ask your husband if he will come for counseling. If he's going to come for counseling, please come with him. When we have a conversation in counseling, he will begin to see the reasons why he needs to celebrate you. Because celebration, I agree with you, is a good thing. We should celebrate each other. Husbands should celebrate the wives. Wives should celebrate the husbands. In fact, you should be the first celebrant of the person who is celebrating. So please come for counseling with your husband if he will agree, so that we'll have a conversation about this. It's a deep-rooted issue. This is his background. So he needs to be able to pull away from the background. It won't just happen like that. There needs to be a process. All right, let's move on. Next question. Oh, I had said we are going for the water break, right? Okay, let's go for the water break. Okay, we'll go for the water break now, and immediately after the water break, we will come back here and continue this beautiful session. Please, I need you to stay put. Do not leave. We'll take this water break and we will be back.
Hello, Titus. You are just explaining. I don't want to hear any explanation. What do you mean? You are supposed to have supplied this water since month. The marriage is ongoing now. What do you mean now? I don't understand. What do you mean? You are just. See, I don't want to hear anything. Whatever you are doing, that thing should be there now. You are playing with my money. You are playing with my money, this man. Let me not see you there. Let me just call again and they say you have not delivered that. We will have issues. You think I'm joking, eh?
A few moments later.
Baby, I'm back. Welcome. This one that your face is like this. Anyways, can you believe what happened to me at the office today? Hey God, my boss said.
Please, tell me it's your boss. Do you know what happened to me today? You're telling me your boss. I don't understand. What do you mean by your boss? Do you know what Titus did today? No, do you know what Titus did? Something I said he should supply. Still now he has not supplied.
I'm not Titus.
Is your boss going to help me do that supply? I say you are not Titus. It's not because of me. I say
sorry
you
now. Why you not
What do you mean by sorry? Sorry is even making me more angry.
You're taking it out on me. Am I Titus?
No.
Do I look like
How did I know
Titus?
Titus?
Please.
Is it not you that showed me to Titus?
Register for the course Anger Management in Marriage, which is going to be facilitated by Coach Kunle Ologe. Kunle Ologe is a certified marriage counselor and a renowned relationship coach with over a decade experience in marriage counseling. He has been able to reconnect 1,000 couples back to God's original formation for marriage. So you don't want to miss this course. Register now. Register today.
All right, welcome back, and it's good to have you back here. I hope you were able to take that water break like I did. Did you watch that advert that was playing during the break? Yes, we have a course that is coming up, and it's going to come up next week, 27th to 28th. Anger Management in Marriage. And this is a 2-day course that will help you to manage your own anger and manage the anger of your spouse. Now, the truth of the matter is that many marriages have this anger issue where one spouse is always angry. Sometimes the anger is coming from outside. It's not even coming from inside. And you are wondering why? What's happening? I can't control it. Sometimes it's you. You always get angry over the slightest thing that your spouse or your children do. You're shouting. Before you know what's happening, you're shouting. Sometimes it's out of your background. Think of it. Maybe your parents were always shouting, and then you find yourself shouting. Somebody asked me recently in the class that we had, I think it was yesterday, yes. So every Friday, we have a live session where we talk about marriage. And somebody asked there and said that she doesn't think she is angry. She has anger issues, but she's always shouting. And her parents were always shouting too. I said, shouting in a home is a manifestation of anger. Did you hear what I said? Shouting in a home is a manifestation of anger. So when you are shouting, did you see that advert? You saw the man, he was just shouting. The woman just came and was even trying to talk about her day, and the man was just going off. It's an indication of uncontrolled anger. Do you have anger in your house? Whether it is you, whether it is your spouse, please register for the course Anger Management in Marriage. This is very, very important. So many people are already registered waiting for that course. Please register also, and we will share more details about the course because there are some freebies that you get for registering for that course. In fact, the things you get will be worth 40,000 naira, but the course is just 20,000 naira. So you want to register for the course. Look out for the details in the group. I hope everybody who is listening to me now is in one or the other WhatsApp group that we had for this. If you are not in those WhatsApp groups, please reach out to the numbers on your screen so that they will give you the link to join the WhatsApp group. We had WhatsApp groups, 2 WhatsApp groups, waiting groups for this particular free Q&A, because there's a lot of information that will pass. And also, we continue to answer questions in that WhatsApp group because our time is limited. In the next 20 minutes now, we will be done from this live session. But we will continue answering the questions that you give us right there in the groups. So make sure you are in the group, please, so that you can get all the information. Don't leave those groups. They're all the freebies, everything you are going to get for being here and for being in the anger management course will be shared there in the group. All right, admin, take it away. Let's continue with our questions. Let's have the next question, please. Okay. I have a deep concern and find it so difficult when my spouse tells me he is working on expressing his love for me, as it isn't really his thing, but he can't say such without thinking when he is communicating with a female friend. Sir, I am currently sad after I found such chat in his phone, telling somebody who we see as a family friend how he really loves her and all sorts. I confronted her and he claimed it was a joke they play. He later apologized. I discovered my husband lacks knowledge of when he's crossing the boundaries with female friends. I have talked and I'm really fed up. I want to approach the lady in question, but he is angry that I should not take my family issues angry. Sir, I just want to focus on my kids now and find out how to move on without thinking about this. Thank you, sir. Okay, first thing is, let me quickly address the one of you going to confront the lady. Please don't confront the lady. If the person who is asking this question, if you are here from the beginning, I think I've spoken about this twice. Do not confront the lady your husband is cheating with. The lady is not the problem, your husband is. Confronting the lady does not help you. It will only make things worse. In fact, I've had cases where women go to confront the people cheating with their husbands, and then the husbands will go backwards to go and apologize to the person you confronted, and even go and comfort them if the confrontation was aggressive. So confronting the other lady is not the solution. I say it again. If you are here and you've been thinking of confronting the other lady or the other man, as the case may be, if it's your wife that is cheating, that is not the solution to a cheating spouse. The solution to a cheating spouse is for both of you to sit down and have conversations, for you to both write fidelity plans that you will both help to keep accountable. That is how you sort out a cheating spouse. There's an ebook titled How to Stop Your Spouse from Cheating. It's an ebook I wrote some years ago. It will really help you and open your eyes to a lot of things. Reach out to the team. The numbers are on your screen. Just reach out to them and ask them for that book. They will show you how to get that book, how to stop your spouse from cheating. So your spouse is cheating. There are reasons why he's cheating. You need to find out those reasons. You need to stop your spouse from cheating. You can also decide to book for a counseling session with your spouse so that both of you can come and we can have a conversation about it. But the bottom line is that you should not confront the woman. It does not help the situation. And the details for how to register for the course is there on your screen. How to register for anger management in marriage. It's there on your screen. Reach out to that number and you will get all the details that you need. All right, let's move on. Next question, please. All right, I have a deep concern and I find it difficult. Okay, no, we've had this question. Can we go to the next one? Next question, please. I think I saw a question. Admin, I think I saw a question. All right, I think I've seen that question now. Yeah. My question is how to manage with a spouse that agreed on certain goals while courting and suddenly changes entirely when married. This does happen. Some people, unfortunately, they agree on some things because they want to get married. And once the marriage is done, then they refuse to follow up on those agreements. What both of you need is a proper reorientation in the marriage. The course Marriage Basics is the course both of you need to attend. So please reach out to the team. The numbers on your screen. They'll tell you how to attend that course, Marriage Basics. At the Marriage Seal Academy, we actually have resources for every problem you need. We have, it's either a book, or there's a course, or there's a program. There are things that you can actually get from the Marriage Seal Academy. We've been here for over 14 years, and we have been helping marriages all around the world to become better. We've been helping eligible singles to find their spouses. Do you know that course that I told you, Becoming Mr. and Mrs.? Every time we finish that course, we put the participants into an alumni group. So we have an existing alumni group with eligible singles inside. So every year we add the people who came, and then we allow them to mingle among each other. Remember, all of them have gotten the right knowledge now. So they can actually sometimes find among themselves the right person to get married to, who has the right knowledge, so that they don't struggle in marriage. And the truth of the matter is, to the glory of God, we've had 3 marriages now from that course so far. People meeting themselves in the group, agreeing to get married, coming for premarital counseling, and now happily married. And I mean happily married from that group. And that is very, very exciting. So please, if you have younger ones, or if you are here and you're an eligible single, make sure you attend that course, so that you don't start having issues like this question that just came up, where you had goals at the beginning and then the person changes. That already shows you that the person, that there was an issue. There's an issue with the person's loyalty to you. But that can be fixed. And that is why I have said that you both should do the course Marriage Basics. All right. Next question, please. My spouse does not like to talk issues through and avoids difficult conversations. I have tried delaying those conversations and bringing it up at different times when things are rosy, and he says I keep bringing up old issues. He believes that time passing can make an issue go away, which is not my style at all. It is so difficult for me to move past that. He's either avoiding difficult conversations, or he has anger outbursts with threats about not wanting to discuss the issues again when you bring it up. All right. First thing I want to tell you is, how do you actually bring up the issues? Sometimes it is the how in a conversation that makes it work or not. Yes, there are people who have been trained to avoid conversations, hard conversations. And yes, there are people who feel, just leave this thing, with time it will go. But the truth of the matter is that time does not solve marital issues. I will keep saying that till tomorrow. Time does not solve it. Conversations do. So you need to be able to get your husband to have that conversation with you. Please get this book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. All right? Reach out to the numbers on your screen. They'll tell you how you can get it from wherever you are in the world. What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. Get this book. It will help you to have those conversations in the right way, that your husband will be able to sit down and actually listen to you. And the angry outbursts that you say normally happens, please do register for the course, Anger Management in Marriage. Remember, even if your spouse refuses to come for the course, you can come for the course, because we will teach you how to manage your own anger and how to manage the anger of your spouse. How many of you listening to me know that we run an annual program called the Couples Conclave? Yes, at the Marriage Seal Academy, we run an annual program for couples from all around the world called the Couples Conclave. It starts from January every year and ends in November of that same year, 11 months. What do we do in the Couples Conclave? Well, it is a marriage accountability and rejuvenation program. So we help you stay accountable in your marriage, and we help you to rejuvenate your marriage all the time, so that your marriage stays on fire. How do we do this? We achieve this by giving you daily tips on marriage. We give you weekly activities, bonding activities. We give you monthly master classes, like what we're teaching right now. We teach different things every month, 1 month a different thing. Then every quarter we have a man or men's conference and women's conference. So we separate. That's the only time we separate. Okay, the husbands go and have their own conference, the wives go and have their own conference, and my God, by the time everybody is back, it's so wonderful. Oh, by the way, the couples conclave is an online program, so it's online. You can join from all over the world. We have people this year who are from the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, Ghana, Zambia, Cameroon, Japan, where else? Okay, South Africa. Yes, we have South Africa. I mean, all around the world. I can't remember all the countries now. We have over 500 couples in this year's couples conclave. That's over 1,000 people. And then the best part, the climax of the couples conclave, and the only physical part of the couples conclave, is the annual retreat. So every year we go on a physical retreat where we actually take ourselves to a lovely place and have fun for a few nights, couples having fun, learning, and just enjoying ourselves. We've been at the Zuma Rock Resort at 1 year. The other year we were at Ekpe Resort in Lagos. Zuma Rock Resort is in Abuja. Ekpe Resort in Lagos. We are going to Uyo for the next one, which is happening in September. So it's a beautiful program. And before we end, you're going to be getting a video. You'll see a video giving you more details on the Couples Conclave program. Okay, please, every couple needs to be a part of the Couples Conclave program, and it's lifelong. Everybody that is there has just been, once you join, you continue every year. We just come back in January again. We only have that break in December. You'll get all the details of that very, very soon. So let's continue with the question. Somebody says in the comment section, somebody has said, can an individual also attend the marriage basics course? No, for marriage basics, it's only for couples. You must come as a couple. You can't come as an individual, but you can attend counseling individually. But for the marriage basics course, it's a 5-module course. It's designed for married couples. We also have the premarital course. Okay, so we have the premarital counseling course. That is for people who are about to get married. Marriage basics is for people who are already married. Okay, so we have the premarital and we have the marriage basics. I hope that answers your question. Somebody also asks, how do I get some for that group? Okay, I don't really know what you are asking, Okoli Tochukwu, but please reach out to the numbers that are on your screen. They're scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Just send a WhatsApp chat to that number and they will give you all the details of whatever question you are asking there. All right, next question. What do you do when you realize after 7 years of marriage that your values don't align with that of your husband? You come and attend the course Marriage Basics, both of you. That's what you need to do, because we must help you to realign your values. And the best way of realigning the values is to give you one value. So what we do in the Marriage Basics course is that we teach married couples one value, and that value is according to God, according to the Word of God. That's the best value you can have. There's no other value system that is better than that. So we show you the value system. All the things you are supposed to learn in premarital counseling is what we teach you in Marriage Basics. We've only redesigned it for the married, the already married. So that question, please come for Marriage Basics. It will help you. By the way, Marriage Basics is not done as a group. Marriage Basics is done one-on-one. We have the group version of it, but we also have one-on-one. Okay, so Marriage Basics is done one-on-one. So you can choose to do either the group one or the one-on-one one. We'll be giving you more details of that when we in the groups, in the WhatsApp groups. So that's why I say don't leave the WhatsApp groups. You will get a lot of things that you didn't even know existed in the WhatsApp group. So remember, Marriage Basics can be done one-on-one and it can be done for a group. All right, we'll give you all the details in the WhatsApp group. So can we have the next question, please? Our time is running very fast. We have just a few minutes left, and everything else we'll now do it in the group. Remember, you can still ask your questions in the group and still send. If you still want to be anonymous, that's no problem. You can still send it to that anonymous link that you sent the questions that are popping up right now, and then we will still answer them. I will still answer them with voice notes on the WhatsApp groups. Okay, so please feel free to still use that link even after this to send your questions on the group. All right. Any other question? Waiting for the questions. We have just 5 minutes left. This is supposed to last just from 8 o'clock to 9:30. And it's almost 9:30 now, but I'm sure you've gained a lot. Okay, while we're waiting for the questions, are there people here who have gained something? Have you learned something today? Please put it in the comment section if you've learned something. Have you learned something today? Put it there in the comment section. And then, where are the conclavites? So for the members of the couples conclave, we call ourselves conclavites. And if the conclavites are here, please, I need you to just say, I'm a conclavite, so that we can see you and we can say hello to you, all the conclavites that are here. It's so exciting to be here with you. I'm going to be, oh, by the way, my wife and I will be starting our tour of the world, like we always do every year. We have conferences here and there. And I see you, Cordelia. Yes, conclavites are here. I see you. Ifeanyi says, I have learned something. That's great. I'm happy that you have learned something. So I was saying that we are going to start our world tour. So we're going to start with Canada. We're going to be in Canada in July. We're also going to be in the US in July. And then in October, we'll be in the UK. And I think there's also supposed to be Zambia. Details of that still coming up. So we have all this that are coming up, and we hope that you all will be there. For those of you who are in the US, please make sure that you are there. I will be there with my wife, so make sure that you are there. For those of you in Canada, we will be there. For those of you in the UK, we will be there also. So please, if you see me there, say hi, come and take a selfie with me. We're going to be coming for the Intentional Parent Summit, and that we have all around. So I'm happy to see you all here. And Sanusi Kafaya says, I have learned a lot, especially on how to communicate. Please make sure you get the books. This is very, very important. Get the books. Now, I've written so many books on marriage, and I'm going to be showing you some of them as we wrap up. More details of the books will be shared to you in the groups. Please don't leave those WhatsApp groups. There's so much that you get from there. So please remain in the WhatsApp group. So there's this new book of mine, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. And this is on communication in marriage. So get it. It will teach you what to communicate, when to communicate, and how to communicate. I have this other new book of mine titled Marriage Stories. So Marriage Stories is an interesting book because Marriage Stories gives you some very interesting 7 stories that I wrote on marriage. They are fiction, but based on real life situations. But the first story is not fiction. The first story is how my wife and I actually met each other, where we met, how I proposed, how she accepted, and how we got married. And then there are 6 other very interesting stories on marriage that you will really, really help. That will really, really help you. It will excite you. It will make you happy. Maybe you may cry in some places. At the end of the day, it will educate you. Then we have this book, which is my very first book that I wrote, Building Your Marriage Plan. Building Your Marriage Plan tells you 13 things that you need to plan for marriage. My wife and I, before we got married, we actually wrote down our marriage plan. So everything we're doing today, 16 years later, is actually in that plan. So when people ask me, how come your marriage is so good? We say 2 reasons. Number 1, God is in the center of it. Number 2, we follow a plan. Then there's this book, this twin book, Husband Manual and Wife Manual. So Husband Manual is for wives to read. Wife Manual is for husbands to read. This book will help you to interpret your spouse. In case you are wondering, why does my spouse behave like this? Why does my spouse behave like that? This book will help you understand why your spouse behaves the way he or she does. And of course, we have this book, 3 Rivers of Marriage, and it's talking about the 3 major issues in marriage: communication, finance, and sex in marriage. Yes, it talks about all 3 of them. There are many more books that I don't have here with me, but we have many ebooks, many guides. I've written over 16 guides and books that you can get on Amazon. You can get it on our online store also. You can just reach out to the numbers that are scrolling on your screen and you will get all the information that you need. I'm so excited that you were able to make it here today, and I'm so happy that we are doing this, and I hope to be able to do this as regularly as possible, maybe once in every quarter. Okay, we just get to do this so that you can ask your questions, but then make sure you start planning on how to join the couples conclave, because people who are in the couples conclave have a year-long access to me. They're able to ask me any question and I answer them as long as they ask me the questions. They are also able to bring their marital issues to me and we can resolve them. And then there's a lot that we get to do in the couples conclave. So I want you to stay tuned now before we conclude today. And I want you to watch this video about the couples conclave so that you get to understand what it is all about. The Couples Conclave is that 11-month accountability and rejuvenation program of the Marriage Seal Academy. In this program, we bring couples together from all over the world to join hands, learn, and be taught on the things that you need to do to make sure your marriage is always on fire. It begins every year in January all through to November of the same year. We take a break in December and start again the next January. One of the things that you get to do in the Couples Conclave is that every single day there is a tip on marriage that is shared to all the couples. Every week we have a bonding activity that helps couples to come together and bond. Every month we give one master class on one particular aspect of marriage. And once every year we have a physical retreat where we take ourselves to a resort and have a nice time for a few days. We've had retreats in Abuja, in Lagos, and we're going to have the next one in Uyo. Over the past 4 years that we have had this couples conclave, we've had a lot of testimonials from couples who come in as maybe fighters in some cases, and then they eventually become lovers because they've come to learn what it is that they have not known on marriage. There's so much that you can learn in marriage, and the Couples Conclave creates that community where you can come and create that culture of the right marriage, the way God ordained it to be. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor, founder of the Marriage Seal Academy, and I am the chief host of the Couples Conclave. Join us for the 2026 Couples Conclave program. Registration details are immediately after this. Please enjoy. All right. So I promised that I was going to give you more details on the Couples Conclave, and I believe that you have gotten all the details that you need to get. This is where we're going to be concluding this Q&A session this night, and I want to thank every one of you that made it here today. I believe that you have taken something away. Please, the things you've taken away, begin to implement them immediately so that your marriage can do better. Remember, we have WhatsApp groups that we belong to. For those of you who attended this, in case you came from outside, maybe someone just invited you with the link to the video and you are not in the WhatsApp group, please send a chat to the number that is scrolling on your screen, the two numbers, either one of them. Send a chat there and just put WhatsApp group, and they will put you in the WhatsApp group so that you can get the freebies that you're supposed to get, because there are things that you're going to get, some free guides that you're going to get, some access that you're going to get to some videos and so on. So please remain in the group so that you can get all this access. It's been so nice having every one of you here. God bless you all. I pray that your marriages continue to do better and better and better all year long. God bless you. Please enjoy.
You just come home, hello, how are you? How was your day? What did you do? You left me alone with these children since morning. I've been cleaning, washing plates, doing everything. I'm talking to you. Listen to me. You want to fall me down. Hey, let us hear they're falling me down. So you cannot even help me to just get something. I see that I'm struggling to get something. You cannot even help me. What kind of a man is this? Hey, that is true. Remember what I was telling you that time around? Wait. Let me call you back. What's happening here? I don't understand. I'm talking to you. Hello. This guy is playing. I'm telling you about something. You just came and you're watching TV. Come on. Hey. Never come and see. I'm on my own. You see, I'll just be on my own. You just decide to look for my job. What's this? I don't understand. Why are your shoes on the bed? Bed, there is someone to clean. Why are your shoes on the bed? Why do you like to torment me every single time? What's the issue? What's wrong with you? What? Why do you want my life in this marriage? What? You just listen to me. Hey, let us hear what they're holding me down. So you cannot help me. Bed, there is someone to clean. Why are your shoes on the bed?
What kind of anger issue is this? Is there a solution to it? Well, yes. Register for the course Anger Management in Marriage, facilitated by Coach Kunle Ologe, who is a certified marriage counselor and the founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. His work in building marriages has helped so many homes. What are you waiting for? This course will help you greatly. Register now.